Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Emily, I do nails, and I'm also the owner of Sunflower Nail on Etsy. In today's video, I'll be showing you how I did these not sunflowers, they're just regular flowers, eyeball flower nails. I think they turned out so good. I love them. They're so fun. So yeah, let's just get straight into the video. I'll talk to you guys at the end. To start this video out, I'm going to go in with the base gel on every single fingernail and put that down and cure it, and then I'm going to go in with my black sparkly that I have on my other hand, and this is the color E727 by Beetles, and I'll leave it linked, everything I used today linked down in the description, so go check that out if you want to purchase any of these things. I am just putting that black sparkly gel on every single nail because that's going to be the base color for all of the nails. I'm also going to do 2 coats of that on every nail and cure it after each coat just to get a really dark black color. After that's all finished and cured, I'm going to go ahead and start on the eyeball. Today what I'm using is my rhinestone glue gel by Macart, and I'm just going to take a dollop of that on each nail and then round it, take a normal brush and round out the edges just to create the most round, like half sphere as I can. And I'm repeating that on every single nail. I'll show you how it looks on the pinky and then I'll fast forward the rest of it just because it's the exact same process on every other nail. Now I'm going to go in and make those half spheres white with this pot white gel, and I'm just going to cover that whole sphere in the white gel polish, getting it as smooth and round as possible. If it wasn't round from the gel, I try to make it more round with this white gel polish. And the reason I use this also is because it only needs 1 coat. So this video is going to be quite a lot of me doing the same thing because it is just a repeating pattern basically of the nails. So I will record a snippet of it, like one nail doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and then the rest I'll fast forward just so this video isn't over an hour long. It's already almost an hour long, so I'm just trying to cut it down a little bit. And also, I don't see the point in showing you the same thing over and over again when you can just go back and rewatch it multiple times if you need to watch it multiple times. So that is why I'm doing that. But right now I'm just fast forwarding that white, and then I'm going to go in I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what I'm going to do next, just because as soon as the white's over, you can go straight into doing this. But I'm going to go ahead and take the light pink. This is also in that pot gel that this white came in. And I'm going to just draw random little squiggles on the outer edge of that sphere, just to create like the veins in your eyes. That's what I'm showing on my other hand, because I did do my other hand off camera. One, to make this video shorter, and two, because I wanted one hand done at least, so I knew what I was doing, because I did have to do a lot of the figuring out what works and what doesn't, and I just wanted to figure it out beforehand. If you guys would like me to change up my style of recording, I'm willing to do that. So yeah, just let me know. The veins in the eyes are complete. I'm going to go in with my pot gel and create the iris of the eyes. I'm just going to take this orange. So I'm using orange, like a neon orange, a neon green, and a neon like purple, just because I like those colors in neons when it comes to Halloween. I don't quite know why, but yeah, I like the neons during Halloween. They're fun. But anyways, I'm going to take my big dotting tool, the biggest one I have, and just create that iris just by going in a little circle just to create a bigger iris that fits. So there's like a millimeter of white and then the rest is orange. And then I'm going to repeat that on the ring finger in the orange, and then the pointer is purple iris, and the pinky is also purple, and then the middle finger is neon green. And I'm going to go ahead and cure that after those are done. And then I'm going to repeat that same step of putting a dot in the middle, but with black to create the like black of an eye. And then I'm also going to take the smaller end of that same dotting tool and use a tiny bit of white and just create the highlight of the eye too. So now that that's all cured, I'm going to go ahead and create the flowers. I'm going to go in with this Van solid nail glue gel. I did say that I was going to start on this before, but then I remembered I needed to paint down the base color. So I'm going to show you how to mix it, and then I'll show you what I need to do. So to mix it up, I know, oh, you're not supposed to touch this stuff with your fingers. I do for a minute, and then I remember that I can use my silicone tools. I did try to put a glove on, but as you can see here, but it stuck so bad to the nail, to the glove, and I don't know if it was because I used this glove previously to do spray paint, or yeah, airbrushing, not spray paint, airbrushing on another set of nails in my last video's nails, and then I just tried to use it and it stuck to it. So here you see I'm using my finger, but then the rest of the video I switch over to a silicone tool to mix it. But to mix up that color, I'm going to take the color I'm going to use and that solid nail glue gel and put a little bit in the lid. I grabbed the orange here and it was meant to be purple, so that's why I'm switching. But I'm going to put some in the lid and then take that ball and just roll it around in the lid, just so I'm not having to having too much powder in it. But after that's covered in the powder, I'm going to dump it out, and then I'm going to mix in the purple color. I'm going to use my silicone tool here, as you see, to mix in that purple color so I'm not touching it with my fingers. And I'm going to mix that color till it's fully incorporated, and then do a little bit of cleanup. And then after I clean up, I'm going to go ahead and roll it into a long tube, and then just take, I learned on by doing my other hand that you don't want to be too shy with this stuff. I will say I don't recommend this Van one, just because it stays. It depends on what you're using it for, but personally for these set, I kind of wish I used my Macart one, but I also wanted to try these out. And so the difference between this one and the Macart one is this one, it stays a little soft. So if you like that, then that's great, but I don't love it. I would prefer it to be rock solid. So I would recommend the Macart one if you want a solid nail glue gel, and this one's more of a soft nail glue gel once it's cured. But I'm going to roll that out in a log and then take a little bit off of the end and just roll it into a ball. And then we'll get into shaping the flower in a minute. So now I'm actually doing what you're supposed to do. I'm going to go ahead and take that same purple I used for the iris of the purple eyeball, and I'm going to create like a rough draft of what I want the petals to look like, just so it has a solid color underneath, because where I used a black base, I tried it on the other hand and it just made it look really dark. And if that's what you're going for, cool, and it works perfectly if you don't want to do this, but I recommend doing it because it just made it pop so much more. As you can see in the video right now, my thumbnail is super orange, and that's because I went underneath and painted a rough draft of what I wanted it to look like. So I definitely recommend doing that. Thumbnail, it's going to be pointy flowers, and then on my pointer, it's going to be a rounded flower, and then it's just going to alternate the rest of the way. Now that that's painted on, I'm going to go ahead and cure it, and then I'm going to actually go in and shape the flowers with that 3D gel. I'm going to roll it into a ball and then take the tip of my pointed silicone tool and just press the tip of that pointed one into right next to the eyeball, and then just kind of push it where it goes wider, just push it out, and then at the tip, to create the tip, I just go on the outside of that gel and push it into a tip. And then I just repeat those steps till I'm happy with how it looks. And then I'm going to repeat those for each of the petals until I'm also happy with how that looks, how the flower in a whole looks, and then I'm going to move on to the next nail and repeat the same underpaint, and then I'll show you how I do the rounded. Basically, I do the same thing as I do with the pointed one, but instead of pointing it out, I go around and curve, make the flower petal curve instead of point. Now I'm going to go in and repeat the same steps as before, but instead of making it pointed, I'm going to make it rounded like I said. but I'm also using green, and then the middle finger will be orange, ring finger will be purple again, and then the pinky will be green petals. So that's how that's going to look, just so it kind of like alternates and evens it out. And then I decided to do the rest of the nails off camera, but I did end up going back and showing you that I was top coating each flower to make it solid after each nail, just because like I said, this gel was soft even after curing, and so I didn't want it to accidentally move and not be the way I wanted it to look. So I went ahead and top coated everything after each nail, and then that way it didn't move around. Now that all the flowers are complete, I'm going to go ahead and add some rhinestones because I just felt like it looked a little bit plain without the rhinestones. So I'm going to put a rhinestone at the bottom and a rhinestone at the top of each flower. On the thumb, I went green. Basically, I did the color that was left out on each nail. So thumb was green rhinestones, pointer was orange rhinestones, middle was purple, and so on and so forth. I just alternated it just so that way it had every color on every nail because I thought that would be fun. So I'm just going to put a little bit of rhinestone glue gel down, and then I'm going to use my neon green rhinestones on my thumb, so on and so forth, and I'm just going to repeat that for every single nail and then cure it after it's done. Is those nails completed? I hope you guys enjoy them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, comment down below more nail ideas you would like to see Halloween and Christmas preferred, because I have those coming up. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like this channel. I would really appreciate it. Link down below is my Etsy along with all my social media, so go check those out if you would like to see more content. I'm so excited. It's finally Halloween season. It's finally getting colder out. It feels amazing outside right now. That's kind of why I'm out here. I'm going to go ahead and edit this video and get it up as soon as possible, because I am recording this the day of. I do think I'm going to start uploading on Mondays instead of Sundays, just because when I upload on Sundays, I feel like I have to rush. For some reason, I can get videos done better if I upload Mondays. So from now on, I think that is going to be the plan. So next week, it won't be Sunday, it will be Monday. So yeah, I hope you guys still stick with me for those days. And thank you so much for watching. Bye. Love you.